Hi students, welcome to history class. Before starting lesson, I am asking some questions from previous class. When did Third Anglo-Maratha War started? In 1817 to 1818. What are the main causes of Third Anglo-Maratha War? First point, Maratha families tried their best to protect their independence and honor. Second, Balaji Rao II tried to free from the clutches of East India Company. Balaji Rao II attacked on British resident in Pune. These are the three main causes of Third Anglo-Maratha War. What are the effects of Third Anglo-Maratha War? British abolished the post of Peshwa. British agreed to give pension to Balaji Rao II. In the place of Balaji Rao II, British made Pratap Singh as the traditional leader of Marathas. These are the three main effects of Third Anglo-Maratha War. Which agreement ended Anglo-Sikh Wars? Lahore Agreement in 1846. Who are the Sikhs who opposed the effort of British to rule Punjab directly? Chattar Singh Attariwala of Lahore and Mulraj of Multan. Okay, who was successful in merging Punjab with British Empire? Lord Dalhousie. Students, last class you studied about Third Anglo-Maratha War and Anglo-Sikh Wars. Let's today's class we learn more about Lord Dalhousie and here Lord Dalhousie arrived India as the Governor General of British in 1848. He made an attempt to integrate Indian states with the British Empire. Okay, Lord Dalhousie. He arrived India as a Governor General of British in 1848. Why did he visited to India? He made an attempt to integrate Indian states with British Empire. Okay. Integrate Indian state with the British Empire. Okay. With the aim of integrating Indian states with British Empire, Lord Dalhousie arrived to India as Governor General in 1848. Clear this? Who was Lord Dalhousie? He was a Governor General of British. Okay, Lord Dalhousie was a Governor General of British in India. When did he came to India? In 1848. Why did he came to India? With the aim of integrating Indian state with the British Empire. He want to mingle Indian states with the British Empire. Okay, so he arrived to India as Governor General. Okay, clear. Next, like Lord Wellesley, he also followed one cunning policy. Okay, Lord Wellesley brought subsidiary alliance into practice. Why? For the purpose of expansion of British Empire in India. In this way, Lord Dalhousie, he also brought one more cunning policy into practice. Which is that cunning policy? Doctrine of lapse. Dalhousie implemented cunning or cheating policy. Which is that cheating policy? Doctrine of lapse. Okay. So, what does this doctrine of lapse includes? According to this policy, adopted children of Indian kings were refused of their right over throne. Okay, adopted children of Indian kings were refused to right over throne. Okay, one more condition. If any Indian king died without children, then adopted children has no legal right over throne. Okay, this is one of the very dangerous policy of Lord Dalhousie. Okay, what is the condition included in Doctrine of Lapse? Adopted children of Indian kings were refused to right over throne. Okay, adopted children of Indian kings have no power over throne. Okay, one more condition. If any Indian kings died without children, in that moment adopted children has no legal right over throne. Okay, in this moment that states directly came under the control of British. Okay, so this is one of the dangerous policy of Lord Dalhousie. Okay, according to this policy, adopted children of Indian kings were refused to right over throne. Okay, adopted children has no right over throne. Another condition, if any Indian king died without children, then adopted children has no legal right over throne. And such states were directly came under the control of British. Okay, so many Indian states came under this policy. Which are those states? Okay, first one Satara, Jaipur, Nagpur, Sambalpur, Awadh, okay, Jhansi, and some other Indian states come under this policy. Here Lord Dalhousie, he had very good knowledge about the situation of all these states. So he used this situation to achieve his goal. Okay, he has very good knowledge about the condition of these states. So he used this policy as a political weapon. Okay, so with the severe implementation of this policy, not only princely families, even ordinary people who are sympathetic for their kings revolted against East India Company. Okay, British started to implement this policy very strictly. So not only princely families, even common people also revolted against this. Why? Because they are loving king very much. Okay, and their sense of loyalty, it gave more support for rebellion. Okay, so it gave chance to Sepoy Mutiny in 1857. Clear this? These are all information about Doctrine of Lapse. Okay, clear this? Here Lord Dalhousie, he implemented Doctrine of Lapse. What are the conditions included in Doctrine of Lapse? If any Indian king died without children, then adopted children has no legal right over throne. One condition. Second condition, adopted children of Indian kings were refused to right over throne. Okay, these are the two conditions of doctrine of lapse. Okay, so if any Indian king died without children, in this moment those states directly came under the control of British. Okay, so Lord Dalhousie, he knew the conditions of these states and he used this policy as his political weapon. So British started to implement this policy very seriously. Okay, so not only the kings, even common people also revolted against the East India Company. Okay, so why? Because they are loving their king very much, and their sense of loyalty, it gave more support for rebellion. Okay, finally it gave chance to Sipahi mutiny in India. Okay, so Sipahi mutiny, first war of Indian independence, started in the history of India. Okay, these are all information about Lord Dalhousie and doctrine of lapse. Clear this? Who was Lord Dalhousie? He was a Governor General of British in India. When did he arrive to India? In 1848. Which is the cunning policy implemented by Lord Dalhousie? Doctrine of lapse. What are the conditions of doctrine of lapse? If any Indian king died without children, his adopted children has no legal right over throne. Okay, next, adopted children of Indian kings were refused to their right over throne. These are the conditions of doctrine of lapse, and such states directly come under the control of British. So many Indian states come under this policy: Satara, Jaipur, Nagpur, Sambalpur, Awadh, Jhansi, etc. Okay, so with the severe implementation of this policy, not only kings, even common people also revolted against the British. Okay, so their love for the king and sense of loyalty, it gave more support for war. Okay, finally it gave chance to Sipahi mutiny or first war of Indian independence in 1848. Okay, so this class I finished this chapter. Okay, now we can turn towards revision part. Revision class from this chapter. All of you open your textbook. Open page number 11. All of you concentrate on first para. From each para, I am asking 1 mark, 2 mark and 3 mark type of questions. Okay, here through which war the English had made other Europeans not to challenge them in India? Through Carnatic Wars. Next, through which wars English took political control over Bengal? Through Battle of Plassey and Buxar. Battle of Plassey and Buxar. Clear this? Next, who was the Sikh king who emerged in the later part of 19th century was a formidable opponent to British? Answer, Ranjit Singh. Which are the two cunning policies followed by British to expand British Empire in India. Subsidiary alliance and doctrine of lapse. Doctrine of lapse. Clear this? Next. When did, now I am writing about Anglo-Maratha Wars. First Anglo-Maratha War. Concentrate here. Second Anglo-Maratha War. Then third Anglo-Maratha War. Next Anglo-Sikh Wars. Okay, clear? First Anglo-Maratha War took place between 1775 to 1802. Clear this? Second Anglo-Maratha War took place between 1803 to 1805. Okay, third Anglo-Maratha War took place between 1817 to 1818. Then Anglo-Sikh War started in the year 1845. Okay. Then last one. Which treaty ended First Anglo-Maratha War? Can you remember? Treaty of Salbai. Treaty of Salbai. Second Anglo-Maratha War ended with the Treaty of Bassein. Treaty of Bassein. Then third Anglo-Maratha War, there is no treaty. Okay, last Anglo-Sikh Wars ended with the Treaty of Lahore. Okay, these are all information about Anglo-Maratha Wars. Okay. Now you may concentrate on First Anglo-Maratha War. Who installed Shah Alam II back on the throne of Mughals? Answer: the Marathas. Okay, the Marathas installed Shah Alam II back on the throne of Mughals. Who gave Kora and Allahabad to British? Who gave Kora and Allahabad to British? Can you remember? Shah Alam II gave Kora and Allahabad to British. Okay. Next. Which was a major setback to Marathas? Death of Madhav Rao. Death of Maratha leader Madhav Rao was a major setback to Marathas. Okay. Who killed Narayan Rao? Raghunath Rao or Raghoba. Raghunath Rao or Raghoba killed Narayan Rao. Okay. Next. Between whom the First Anglo-Maratha War took place? Between the British and the Marathas. Okay. These are all one mark type of questions from First Anglo-Maratha War. Okay, now what are the causes of First Anglo-Maratha War? First one, Narayan Rao was murdered by his uncle Raghoba. First point. So, fighting started for the post of Peshwa. Second point. Third, Maratha Federation brought Madhav Rao II as the Peshwa. Then Raghuba appealed to the British for help. These are the four main causes of first Anglo-Maratha war. Okay, first one, Narayan Rao was murdered by Raghunath Rao. Okay. Second, fighting started for the post of Peshwa. Maratha Federation made Madhav Rao II as the Peshwa. So, Raghunath Rao appealed to the British for help. These are the main causes of first Anglo-Maratha war. Clear this? What are the effects of first Anglo-Maratha war? War of long years of 1775 to 1802 started between Marathas and British. 1 point. Second, in the beginning, Marathas gained upper hand. Okay. Third point. But later, Marathas had to surrender Allahabad to British. Fourth, this war came to an end with the Treaty of Salbai. Clear this? These are the four effects of first Anglo-Maratha war. Clear this? First point, long war started between Marathas and British from 1775 to 1802. In the beginning, Marathas gained upper hand. Third point, later Marathas had to surrender Allahabad to British. Last point, this war came to an end with the Treaty of Salbai. Clear this? These are the effects of first Anglo-Maratha war. Now you concentrate on Lord Wellesley and subsidiary alliance. Who was Lord Wellesley? Lord Wellesley was a Governor General of British in India. Okay, so why Lord Wellesley arrived to India? For the expansion of British Empire in India. Okay. First one, who was Lord Wellesley? Lord Wellesley was a Governor General of British in India. Which was the cunning policy implemented by Lord Wellesley? Subsidiary alliance. Subsidiary alliance. When did he brought this policy into practice? In 1798. Okay. Which are the three policies followed by Lord Wellesley to expand British Empire in India? First one, subsidiary alliance. Subsidiary alliance. Second point, waging war against newly formed states. Newly formed states. Third, administering the states directly came under their control. Okay, this is the 2-mark question. Which are the three policies followed by Lord Wellesley to expand British Empire in India? First one, subsidiary alliance. Waging war against newly formed states. Third, administering the states directly came under their control. Clear this? Okay. Next, what is subsidiary alliance? Subsidiary alliance is a military agreement between Indian kings and East India Company. What is subsidiary alliance? Subsidiary alliance is a military agreement between Indian kings and the East India Company. Clear this? Next. Name the first state to enter into subsidiary alliance. What is the answer? Hyderabad. Hyderabad was the first state to enter into subsidiary alliance. Okay. Which are the other states entered into subsidiary alliance? Mysore, Awadh, Tanjore, Berar, Maratha. Okay, these are the other states entered subsidiary alliance. Clear this? Okay, now important 3-mark question. What is that? What are the conditions of subsidiary alliance? You observe. Okay. First one, Indian king had to keep British army in his kingdom. First point, Indian king had to keep British army in his kingdom. Second point, the concerned state had to bear the expense of the army, payment of soldiers, and give revenue land to British. Second condition. Third, the Indian king had to have British resident in his court. Okay. Next, Indian king could not appoint any European without the permission of Governor General. Okay. Or without the permission of East India Company. Okay. In order to enter into any agreement, permission of Governor General was mandatory. Okay. These are all the conditions of subsidiary alliance. Clear this? Okay. Next, you may concentrate on Second Anglo-Maratha War. When did Second Anglo-Maratha War took place? In 1803 to 1805. Okay. First one. What was the main cause of Second Anglo-Maratha War? Differences among the Maratha chieftains. Differences among the Maratha chieftains was the main cause of Second Anglo-Maratha War. If this question asked for one mark, then you can write only this much of answer. If this question asked for 2 mark, then you have to add one more point extra. What is that point? Enmity. The enmity broke out between Yashwant Rao of Holkar and Daulat Rao of Sindhia against Balaji Rao II. Okay. Finally, the army of Holkar defeated the army of Balaji Rao II. Okay. So then Peshwa Balaji Rao II appealed to British for help. Appeal to British. Clear this? If 1 mark question asked, what are the causes of Second Anglo-Maratha War? Differences among the Maratha chieftains. Enough. If this question asked for 2 mark, then you have to write this point. And next, the enmity broke out between Yashwantrao of Holkar and Daulat Rao of Scindia against Balaji Rao II. The army of Holkar defeated the army of Balaji Rao II. So then Peshwa Balaji Rao II appealed to the British. Okay. Then one more 2 mark question. What is that? Why did Peshwa Balaji Rao II appeal to British? Which answer you have to write? This answer you have to write. Okay, the enmity broke out between up to year. Okay, clear this. Next, which treaty ended Second Anglo-Maratha War? Can you remember? Treaty of Versailles. Okay. Which treaty ended Second Anglo-Maratha War? Treaty of Versailles. Clear this? Okay. Next, one more important question. Why did Lord Wellesley resign for his post and return to England? What is the answer? Because his war toastness increased the financial pressure on East India Company. Why did Lord Wellesley resign for his post and return to England? Because his war toastness increased financial burden on the East India Company. Okay, so Wellesley criticized for this policy. Okay, so he resigned for his post and returned to England. Clear this? Okay. Next, what are the main causes of Third Anglo-Maratha War? Morning class I already said. What are the main causes of Third Anglo-Maratha War? First one, Maratha families tried their best to protect their independence and honor. Second, Balaji Rao II tried to free from the clutches of company. Third, Peshwa Balaji Rao II attacked on British resident in Pune. These are the 3 main causes of Third Anglo-Maratha War. Clear this? Next, what are the effects of Third Anglo-Maratha War? First one, British abolished the post of Peshwa. Second, they agreed to give pension to Balaji Rao II. Okay. Third one, British made Pratap Simha as the traditional leader of Marathas. These are all the effects of Third Anglo-Maratha War. Okay. Next, concentrate on Anglo-Sikh Wars. First one, what was the main cause of Anglo-Sikh Wars? First point, political anarchy broke out in Punjab after the death of Ranjit Singh in 1839. Okay, so next, second point, the British tried to break the Treaty of Friendship. Okay, This is the which they had with the earlier king. These are the two main causes of Anglo-Sikh wars. First one, political anarchy broke out in Punjab after the death of Ranjit Singh in 1839. Second, British tried to break the Treaty of Friendship which they had with the earlier king. These are the two main causes of Anglo-Sikh wars. Okay, next, which was the humiliating agreement ended between Sikhs and the British? Lahore Agreement. In which year? In 1845. Okay. What is the result of Lahore Agreement between Sikhs and British? Here, with this, British resident became a de facto ruler of Punjab. Okay, later Punjab remained as a dependent state of East India Company. Okay, next, who are the two Sikhs opposed the effort of English to rule Punjab directly? Chattar Singh Attariwala of Lahore and Mulraj of Multan. Clear this. Who was successful in merging Punjab with British Empire? Lord Dalhousie. Okay, who was Lord Dalhousie? He was a Governor General of British in India. When did he arrive to India? 1848. Which was the policy implemented by Lord Dalhousie? Doctrine of lapse. Okay, so what are the how does Lord Dalhousie merged Indian states with British Empire? Through doctrine of lapse policy. How? First one, the adopted children of Indian kings were refused to right over throne. First point. Second point, if any Indian king died without male children, adopted children has no legal right over throne. Okay, through this policy, he was successful in merging Indian states with the British Empire. Which are the states come under the policy of doctrine of lapse? First one, Satara, Nagpur, Sambalpur, Jaipur, Jhansi, Awadh. All these states come under the control of British. Okay, through doctrine of lapse. Okay, these are all information about Dalhousie and doctrine of lapse. Okay, so I ending this chapter through revision class. Okay, tomorrow class I will start new chapter from political science part. So you must learn all these 1 mark and long answer type of questions properly. Okay, you must if you start your study now, then later you can get the benefit of it. Okay, otherwise you have to face heavy burden on your mind. Okay, so study well. Don't keep it balanced. Okay, thank you students.